Alrighty, and welcome back to NJPW G1 Climax Tournament, Day 8. Starting off with Hanma and Toriano. I'm just doing the tournament matches on this one. You know, I kind of want to... I tend to skip the preliminary or opening tag team matches, every couple of shows, just because they do tend to get a bit repetitive. So, just do the full show every three times, and then just do the tournament matches in between. I'm going to have Toriano going up against Hanma. I'm really kind of rooting for Hanma in the tournament this year. It'd be kind of cool to see him go all the way, but I have a sneaky feeling that he's gotten his 2 wins for the year, and that's going to be it. And then next year he'll probably get 3. Assuming he is still with NJPW. You never know what might happen. A lot can happen in a year. I was going to say a year's a long time. Well, it is, relative to a week, a year is a long time. Relative to a second, a year is a very long time. So. But don't feel sorry for Hanma. He does occupy one of those interesting gray areas of popularity in pro wrestling. I've talked about that before. Kind of like Tommy Dreamer in ECW, and even in that one company here in the States that I don't name. In that kind of the perpetual underdog. You want to see them win, and it's kind of special when they do win, but they win an awful hell of a lot, but they give so much in the ring, they give it all in the ring, so you don't really look at them as being any worse. It's like, I don't know, not very many people can pull it off. It's not easy at all as a pro wrestler to pull off that kind of lovable, not loser, but the lovable underdog that's just kind of always the underdog. As much as it would be cool to see Hanma win, he got the tag team title tournament, the tag tournament win with Makabe, and then they won the titles. So if he were to start winning too often, might kind of lose that underdog status that going to go for the Kakeshi already and misses. I would not be a bit surprised to see this be kind of a short match, actually. Misses the Kakeshi headbutt again. Just because Hanma's kind of all about that going the distance kind of match, and Toriano's all about the sneaky win. So in terms of Toriano gets a bit of the fake out going on there, gets a hold of him, actually going to go for a wrestling move. Doesn't get him up. Hanma going to try and deadlift suplex. Toriano trying to fight out of it, but Hanma gets him up and over. But what I'm kind of expecting to happen, just based on the personalities involved, Hanma's going to go for something. He's going to go with that balls to the wall attitude of his. Toriano's going to get a sneaky slow blow or a pin or something on him, and 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Toriano appears to have a nasty bruise on his stomach there. Not sure what happened there. That is pro wrestling. They get bruised up. Well, he's actually got quite a few bruises on his chest and stomach. Must have landed rough or something. There's the Kakeshi. Just a clubbing blow to the back of the head there. Maybe going for that driver, but Hanma escaped. Got an elbow or shoulder block in there, but Hanma blocked right back. Just nailed him. Hit the flying headbutt. I'm gonna look for the flying Kakeshi. Well, the top rope Kakeshi already. This is a mistake. And Hanma moves. Hanma misses. Toriano moves. Hanma nails him with a headbutt again. He's trying to finish Toriano off quickly. He doesn't want to screw around with a guy too long. And the low blow, waits for the ref to recover. Second low blow, and a 1, 2, 3. And that impish grin. Allowing Toriano to pick up his first win of the tournament so far. Toru Yano, whatever. Hanma obviously disappointed. Kind of weird that last year he beat Ishii. Lost to everyone else but Ishii. Hanma. This year, so far, he beat Shibata and Yoshihashi. And Yoshihashi, kind of a rookie. Talked about that in other videos. Commentaries, I should say. Well, I'm putting it up as a video. So. Alright, so now we've got Evil versus Yoshihashi. It just seems a bit interesting to me that arguably Shibata was going to be Hanma's toughest match of the tournament. especially since he just lost to him for, trying to go after the title. I mean, Elgin, Evil, Nagata is always going to be a threat. Naito, of course, is always going to be a threat. Nakajima so far has proven that he can give what he takes, but he lost to Shibata, so he clearly isn't at any lofty level above anybody else that Hanma could feasibly beat. It's just, out of everyone in the B block, probably Naito and Shibata, arguably, I suppose, would be considered the two toughest matches for Hanma, and he beat Shibata right out of the gate. But then loses to Omega, former champ, both junior heavyweight and intercontinental champ. Not saying Omega's a slouch, but he is only recently moved up to the heavyweight division from junior heavyweight division. And although he is kind of used to going up against the bigger, stronger, tougher guy and someone like Michael Elgin, I don't think there's any particular reason why Hanma couldn't have beat him. Obviously, it just came down to the wire in that match. Pretty much every match so far Hanma's been in, it always comes down to the wire. Who can hit that last major move, the finisher, who can hit that move and get the win. And so far, Hanma's managed to beat two guys, but has lost twice. So we'll just have to see if that sneaky sensation that I've got, that Hanma's already had his wins for the tournament and he's going to just keep losing. We'll have to see if that's right or wrong. This is only round 4 of the B block, so 5 more rounds to go. Here comes Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi, 1 win so far, 2 losses. Going in there against Evil, who had a few really heavy-hitting matches with Goto. I think they went more or less 1-1 in that feud till Goto. Well, actually, I think Evil beat Goto like 2 or 3 times, and then Goto finally managed to beat him pretty decisively. And that kind of ended their little mini feud that was stretching out there for a while. But Yoshihashi managed to beat Sanada, so... He also did beat Omega, so yeah, it's kind of interesting. You get these weird little patterns that emerge, as like Hanma beat Yoshihashi but lost to Kenny Omega, while Yoshihashi lost to Hanma and beat Kenny Omega. And of course, sometimes you have on nights, sometimes you have off nights, sometimes you take somebody a little too lightly and they surprise you. Sometimes someone just gets a little lucky. Alright, enough of that nonsense. Let's get into this match. They've already gotten into it. And then out of it, actually. They're all the way out in the aisle at the moment. Red carpet and everything. Ha 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 ha. Yoshihashi goes into the guardrail. Evil just kind of beating him up at the moment. Yoshihashi is kind of suffering through some sore muscles or possibly deep bruising there. Evil going for the chair, as he is wont to do, and over the head. Kind of nailed it in there, but Yoshihashi was able to kind of push it off before, it didn't get as much impact as it could have. Now, when Evil went up against Nakajima and he did that to him, Nakajima just took that thing flush in the face. But managed to come out with a win on top, so. With a win on top. He managed to come out with a win. He managed to come out on top. My brain is trying to get ahead of my mouth here. Trying to say two things at the same time, and it sounds funny. I know too many phrases, damn it. It's not fair. I was just stepping on his shoulder, grinding it in there. That's why even little injuries, just sore muscles or little, bruises or a little bit of a sprain, something that wouldn't necessarily keep you out of a match, but that illustrates perfectly why it is so difficult to deal with a match when you've got one of those injuries, even if it's not a bad injury. Evil able to basically just step on him and turn it into submission hold. Now really working over the shoulder. Just kind of grinding that in. Hard chop takes him right down. Goes for the senton, hits it. 1, 2, only 2 count. Evil also 1 and 2 so far in the tournament. Somebody's going to go 2-2. Somebody's going to go 1-3 here. Not a great position to be in, but not the worst. Going for the Fisherman Buster. Yoshihashi trying to fight out of it. Succeeds. Gets him up. Takes him over. Floats over. Hits the neck breaker. Like he has a big bruise on his side. That might be some of Evil's eye mascara, face paint, whatever it is that he has on. That's probably what it is. That looks too dark to be a bruise. Hits the overcastle, which is a flip over neck breaker. Running in. It looked like a shoulder block rather than a clothesline. Hangs him up. Evil can't respond. Takes the big drop kick to the back. 1, 2. Only 2 count. Notice how Yoshihashi kind of landed that drop kick kind of low on the back, or rather high on the back, relatively speaking, targeting the just below, the neck area right around the shoulders, which is where a lot of the pressure of that submission hold he uses is. Really wrenches on the neck and the one arm, but a lot of the pressure's on the neck. So you notice that's where he puts a lot of his offense is on the neck. Neck breakers, uses a lot of neck breakers. Goes for a boot there, but gets caught. Discus clothesline. Fisherman. That was really just a release fisherman suplex. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Didn't really drop him on his head. Wasn't really a fisherman buster, though, so. Just a releasing fisherman suplex. It's taking him a second to recuperate, but that gives Yoshihashi a bit of time to recuperate as well. Fighting back. Gets him up. Not able to capitalize, not able to get him. It's the twisty enziguri. The twistaguri. There you go. I'll call that. I'll try and remember that from now on. It's the twisty guri. Just kind of hanging out, I guess. Yoshihashi going to go for powerbomb. It's powerbomb. Usually flips over to pin. Gets him up, makes him think about it, and gets it over. 1, 2, only 2 count. If he would kind of move forward and really spread his weight and their weight out a bit, or the weight of the legs open a bit more, might have got the pin there. Gonna go for the swanton, but gets nailed on the back with the knees. The knees came up. Landed real rough there. Evil not really able to capitalize, though. Of course, he's really just able to recuperate while Yoshihashi is suffering. Only gets a glancing blow on the first kick, but connects pretty solidly with the second one. 1, 2, only 2 count. Haven't really seen a whole lot of kicks from him. So, bringing some more offense in, looks like. Tournament is actually a pretty good place to try out some new stuff, though. Because you don't have to win every single match, and you can still win a round-robin tournament. It's the off-the-shoulder bomb. 1, 2, only 2 count. And call it the Death Valley bomb. At least that's what it's more or less like. Maybe a Death Valley spine buster. Spine buster bomb? I don't know. Death Valley bomb. Snappier. Looking for that STO as finisher. Yoshi catches him. He's trying to take him down to put him in that submission lock. Maybe just an arm bar. He's just got him in an arm bar. Now he's trying to transition there. He's got it. You see it. There's some pressure on the arm there, but almost all of it's on the neck. It really wrenches in on the neck. You can almost turn that into a pin right there. Evil trying to get over to the rope, and he got it. Just gonna go for a forearm, some forearms. Rocked him. German, maybe. Evil catches him. Oh, just a big straight forearm. Side kick connects. Evil manages to hit another forearm there, but wasn't really able to get the momentum off the discus punch. He went for it too early. Yoshihashi hadn't quite gotten up yet. Does hit the release belly to back. Well, it's a belly to back suplex when it's released. Yoshihashi hits the big upward thrusting clothesline there. It's very reminiscent of Jushin Thunder Liger's palm strike clothesline. Gonna go for that swanton and hits it. Can he get the 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, and nope, only 2 count. Going, looks like just a kind of a sleeper there. Knees to the back. Should have really should have gone for a pin there. He's used this before. It's a pump handle into a kind of a driver. 3, and Yoshihashi gets it. I'd say that would be the most appropriate description, a pump handle driver. Which I think is a new move that he's pulled out of his bag of tricks for this tournament. Something that he's been working on, I'd imagine. So he moves up 2 and 2. 2 wins, 2 losses. Evil drops 1 win, 3 losses. After the last match, Hanma 2 and 2. Toriano 1 and 3, as I said. So kind of trucking right along here. Alright, so we've got Nagata and Nakajima from Noah. This one going to be kind of interesting. Nagata, so far, the only one to have a solid win streak going here, 3 and 0. Nakajima 2 and 1. He's going to be looking to go 3 and 1. But can he beat Nagata? Nagata is not going to be any kind of a pushover. Is really going to take it to Nakajima. Alright, and here is Nakajima. Honestly, so far, I haven't really been impressed by this guy that much. You know, he's got that nickname, Genius of the Kick, but so far, Marufuji in A block has used a hell of a lot more kicks and a hell of a lot more variety. This guy, I mean, I don't know who started doing the particular gimmick first, but he just seems like he does more or less the same stuff as Shibata, and Shibata is better at it. From what I can see. This guy doesn't have that quiet intensity that Shibata does. He's a little bit more cocky. Or maybe a lot more cocky. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him, it's just that being used to watching Shibata here at NJPW, they had a pretty damn good match against each other, but at the same time, it's just, I'm just not seeing anything to make him stand out. Marufuji has quite a few qualities about him that really help him to stand out from pretty much everybody. I mean, the variety of kicks he uses, the fact that he really only starts using them till later in a match when he starts getting in trouble, kind of his hole card, if you will. Those nasty-ass chops he uses. He's got more personality, I think, going into the ring overall. And Nakajima starting things off hot here. Again, very reminiscent of Shibata. Solid forearm. But we still have basically over half the tournament left to go. 5 more rounds. I just have to see if Nakajima can kind of separate himself from everyone else in some way. Throws him into the ring post there. That's definitely more underhanded than anything Shibata would do. Shibata doesn't really resort to that kind of stuff too much. Goes in, runs and kicks him. Nakajima just hanging out, letting Nagata get back in the ring. Bit stunned there, having a hard time getting back in the ring. Nakajima staying on top of him once he gets back in the ring. Once he does get back in the ring. The spinal tap. I can't see what's happening. Laying some solid kicks in there. Nagata manages to nail the knee in, that knee lift, send Nakajima flying. really nailed him. Nakajima laying in a couple kick there. Solid kick. Spinal tap of his own. Really laid it in. Nakajima going for a snapmare and just got thrown to the mat. Nagata getting a little bit irritated with the youngster. Nailing him with some forearms there and a gut shot. Taking him down with a crossface. Kind of an odd position there. Yep. Really hooked it in too. Doesn't really have a crossface in so much as just a side headlock with a arm hooked. Nakajima not really being able to respond at all to this. Once Nagata took control, he's just been beating the crap out of the young guy. The younger man. Kneeing the crap out of him there. Vicious kick. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Nakajima getting a bit pissed off. Not really able to do anything. He's trying to fight through. Nagata looking for a suplex maybe. Maybe a bear hug. I can't quite tell what he was going for there. Just another solid forearm. Nakajima drops low with that kick, drop kick. Maybe looking to take Nagata off his base. That could be effective. Big running kick in the corner. Solid kick. And I see that the guy uses a lot of kicks. I'm just not sure why he's got the nickname the Genius of Kicks. The straight missile drop kick. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Going back to the knee. Got a reverses and exploder overhead suplex. Or overhead exploder. See, the exploder suplex is actually the original version of what we usually call the T-bone suplex. And I've also heard anything that's got that snap on it like that, just kind of the grabbing and tossing somebody real fast. I've also heard that called an exploder variant of whatever suplex is used, rather than just kind of muscling them over the slow way. Exchanging some strikes there. Nakajima manages to fake him out. Okay, now there was something that was actually interesting. 1, 2. Ooh, only a 2 count, but a long one. Jumps back off the turnbuckle with a kick to the back. That was a bit different. Not really anything we haven't seen Rob Van Dam do 1,000,001 times, but a bit different from what we've seen him doing so far. Goes for the penalty kick and gets caught. Takes him down. Hits the side of the reverse armbar. Nagata trying to cinch it in. If he rolls the eyes, and there he goes. That means he's really got it locked in. Okay, cameraman, anytime. Okay, so they got to the ropes. Nakajima got to the ropes. Goes back to kicking the leg there. Slapping Nagata. That's not really a good idea. I think he's going to come out on top in a slapping contest. He's bigger and stronger. And he's been laying in slaps and punches and everything else for a hell of a lot longer. Nagata back to just beating the crap out of him. Kneeing the hell out of him. Finally got sick of his shit, I think. Big running knee there. Nakajima is looking pretty out of it. Nagata, big high angle backdrop, Noki backdrop, 1, 2, only a 2 count, but long 2 count. Now he's going to look for the version, the same basic move, but he keeps it locked in, bridges with it. Got to go in for a kick. Nakajima sweeps the leg. Goes back to the leg. It's a whip. Does it again. Most of his really effective offense so far has been attacking the legs. There's the exploder. They gotta trying to force through the pain there. Well, I'm not sure what effect smacking his knee is going to have when it's hurting. Couple of kicks. Kind of rattles Nagata, but he does that spin kick. Takes a big one right there, though. Penalty kick connects. Now he's probably going to go for that brain buster. He goes up, hits it, and 1, 2, 3. I'd have to say he kind of snuck that win through sheer bloody-minded determination and sheer luck. They gotta have something to say there, and I have no idea what it was, though. Telling the little punk to mind his manners, maybe. I don't know what the deal is with the towels. They hand them a towel to wipe their sweat off with. They want some of their sweat. Japanese people are a bit odd. But I've heard worse stories about people doing stuff with rock stars, so... Shows their popularity, I guess. I don't understand it, but whatever. Alright, so Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin return match before they've actually had a return match. Because technically Omega should be getting a rematch for the Intercontinental title. He hasn't yet. You gotta imagine that it's on the horizon, but if it's not, winning now would cement that. If there was any doubt that he was going to get a return match, winning this one will eliminate it. Here comes Kenny Omega. Looks like he's coming out by himself. This is the stuff that irritates me. The inconsistency. Right there, he's being a cool dude, doing the thing with a baby and everybody. And he's not going to have there's not going to be outside interference, probably. Nobody came out to help him in this match. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this one, because he's more than capable of winning against Elgin. But then you had the Intercontinental title match, a ladder match, which was the match Kenny Omega wanted. It was supposed to be his match that he was bringing to New Japan, and had outside interference and was cheating all the way through the damn match. It just really irritates me, just that inconsistency. Like he doesn't know what the hell he wants to do when he goes out to the ring, or what kind of what he wants to be to the fans, or how he wants to portray himself at times. It's just a bit odd. Not a bit. It's very odd. Never mind. Well, at least this is a little more consistent. It's no less annoying, but it is a bit more consistent. Elgin, some, Elgin with the tape on the shoulder, and people apparently not knowing what it is they're supposed to be doing there. So just a little sneak attack, and then Omega's going to take it over, and try and win all on his own. He's going to do the thing where he gets the mats up, covers them up with them, and then stomps them. For some reason, he's not moving. There you go. Great big boot. Wipes him out. Omega all the way out into the audience. Sorry about that if there's any pops on the microphone. I was trying to move it so I'm not sitting quite so close to the screen. I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. So I just kind of repositioned a bit so I'm not so close. Elgin going all the way up top. Omega obliges and walks back towards him for no particular reason other than to get hit. 1, 2. I guess I'm just in a little bit of an annoyed mood today because this match is getting on my nerves. Just little things like Michael Elgin. Well, he did pop up out from underneath those mats, but he still laid there way longer than makes any sense for him to, and then Omega just walking over to get hit. Right at the very beginning, Michael Elgin doing more or less the same thing, obliging to walk towards him before he was doing his little flippity-flip out of the ring. Come on, guys, get your shit together. Michael Elgin misses the splash, but gets hit by the drop kick, and gets hit by the drop kick. Puts on the brakes. Manages to get Elgin. Going to do a little flippity-flip off the guardrail there. Shoves Elgin into the ring post. And the lady right there on the outside is very shocked at this. Drags Elgin's elbow in. Targeting the shoulder and elbow there. The arm. Quite a few guys already with those minor shoulder and arm injuries. Shibata noticed sporting the support tape on his shoulder and one knee. These tournaments do tear guys up. Got Taguchi out there doing guest commentary. They always have one of the wrestlers go out to do commentary. Usually it's Jushin Thunder Liger. Hey, back off, man. That hurt. Don't do that no more, dude. Choppity chop. Elgin nailing Omega, but Omega goes back to the shoulder. And shoulder breaker. 1, 2. Just 2. Short 2. They get ripping the tape off. Takes away some of that support, some of that protection. All of it. Takes it away completely. Not some. Pulling on a beard. Arm wrench and a kick. Elgin tosses him bodily over into the corner, but eats a boot. Omega flippity roll out of the way. Eats Enziguri. Elgin belly to back into the turnbuckle. Just smashed him in there. Of course, in order to do that, he has to use that arm. Big clothesline. The arm that isn't hurt. And huge clothesline. Really got a head of steam off on that one. Gonna get him up for something. Omega fighting. Couldn't tell if he was going after the head or the shoulder. Another Enziguri. Omega goes down onto the apron. Elgin maybe gonna look to power him in. Nope, just gonna whip him in. Catches, power slam. 1, 2, only 2 count. Pretty smart. Doesn't have to use that arm too much for that, but does here. Looking to power him up for another suplex, but couldn't. Omega fights out, but takes a forearm. Elgin calling for the big clothesline. Misses. Omega switches, flies around, hits the low drop kick. Comes off, hits the bulldog. Leapfrog bulldog. Only. Call it a bullfrog, maybe? Call it a. Yeah, that's not bad. Call it a bullfrog. Leapfrog bulldog. Bullfrog. Omega. Gonna do that gut wrench, just pick him up, try and power him over. Elgin I'll try and do the same. Just send him flying. Yep. Gut wrench suplex. And again, every time he uses one of those power moves, he's got to use that arm. He'd be better off switching arms here, but you're used to doing a move a certain way. Omega spitting at him. Pissed him off. I think that was the plan. Really gets that snap on the rollover. Now going for the moonsault, but gets caught. Waited just a little too long. Hesitated. Flips him around. Head scissor into the turnbuckle. Gets him up. Hits the snap off of that again, the roll, and goes for the moonsault yet again, but eats some knees that time. Well, shins. Eats some lower leg into the gut. Buckle bomb. And hits it. Big knee comes out of the corner. Forearm. Flips out of the belly to back attempt. Hits the super kick. Twisted all around off that clothesline. Nice to see they finally got into the swing of things here. That was a really dodgy start to the match. Both men just laying on the mat. Omega trying to roll himself up here. Both slowly getting up. Elgin getting up first. Omega pulling on the beard, which is just kind of pissing Elgin off. Just hitting those clotheslines front and back. Calling for another big clothesline. Omega hits the Snapdragon. Twice. Reverse head scissor takedown. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Elgin manages to push him off, roll out of it. See what Omega's going for here. This could be proved to be a big mistake. Trying to power a bigger man over from the top, not an easy proposition. And Elgin does fight out of it. Omega going for something again. Like he's trying for a superplex, but Elgin keeps fighting him off. Elgin catches him on the shoulders. See what he's going to go for here. One, two, only a 2 count. Omega kicks out. I really don't know what the hell that was. It wasn't a Samoan drop. It wasn't quite a quick kryptonite crunch from the top. It was like a Samoan DDT, maybe? It was a kind of a Samoan drop setup. Buckle bomb. And Omega gets out of it. Goes for a power bomb of his own. Hits buckle bomb more into the ropes. And hits Elgin's own move on him. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Buckle bomb into the turning sit out power bomb. So this would be a good time to go after an arm submission. The power stuff isn't working, the big moves aren't working. Go after that arm. He nailed him with a big knee. But now he's going for that something angel, I think, one wing angel. Backhand to the future. Now Elgin gonna go for his move. And hits it. 1, 2, 2 count only. These two have developed a real rivalry with each other. Is a feud starting to, well, it was already kind of interesting, but it looks like it's kind of heating up again, or back up, because the Super J Cup, I think it is, the junior heavyweight tournament. Elgin hits the big power bomb. 1, 2, 3. Well, they really took it to each other in that match. And another small point going back to the beginning. See, now after Omega had interference from Takahashi, got a little sneaky offense in right at the start. It wasn't much, but now that makes him look even weaker. Because even with cheating, even a little tiny bit of cheating, he still could not win. Whereas if he just went out there and had a solid match, no interference, no bullshit, just a good solid match and lost, no harm, no foul. They need to work on what it is they're, like I said at the start, they need to work on what it is they're trying to portray. And, you know, if you're going to be cheating, then you need to be more consistent about it. And they just do it in a weird way that doesn't work for me at all. I don't know whether it works with the Japanese audience better or not. I don't know. So Elgin moves up 2-2. Omega stays at 2-2, drops another loss. Alright, so our main event is going to be Naito and Shibata. Now, after last year's tournament, these two had a bit of a feud. Naito's attitude during the tournament really got under Shibata's skin, and when they had a match last year. and I doubt that Shibata is going to care for his attitude anymore during this match, so we're going to have to see what kicks off there, especially if Naito beats him. Because that would mean Naito could get a title shot. Of course, I think Naito, having tasted heavyweight championship gold, he's going to be looking to take that back. I don't know if he's going to be able to settle for the never openweight title. Not that I think that having the never openweight title is beneath anyone, but Naito might. And of course, I don't think that would stop him from going up against Shibata to try to take the belt off of him just to do it. It's not going to fuck with the announcers? Yeah, maybe. The commentary guys. The one dude's not out there. That guy only seems to do the big show, so maybe that's why Naito liked messing with him, because he's one of the bigger names in the back room stuff or something. I don't know. Naito fucking with red shoes. So he switched from screwing with a commentary guy to screwing with red shoes. And Fale screws with announcer dude for no particular reason. I don't know. If you didn't watch this last year, it was kind of interesting. Naito was coming out with an all-black suit for the tournament matches, and he would not start taking that off until the other dude was already out to the ring. He'd just stand there and wait, and then he'd make them wait while he took it off after the bell had rung. Shibata avoiding contact with fans, no nonsense, just wants to get to the ring, do his thing. Quite a lot of tape on that one shoulder, also the knee. Again, Shibata just kind of ignoring him. Naito probably hoping to piss him off, get him to where he can make a mistake. Naito just messing around. He's gonna try and play these head games with Shibata. Could go either way. Shibata definitely just wants to get into the match. He wants to fight. At the same time, he doesn't really care a whole lot about these sorts of antics. So, might be able to irritate him into making a mistake. Might irritate him into doing that. Just going after him. Forcing him into the confrontation. Really running him into the guardrail there. Like I said, Shibata doesn't do this sort of thing a whole lot, but he tends to do it with Naito. He just gets irritated with Naito. Tries to send him home with the fans. Naito back to taking his sweet time. Rolls in and right back out. Shibata doing that. Saying that he hurt his arm there. Trying his hardest to play the head games with Shibata. Again, don't know if it's going to work, if it's just going to annoy him into kicking the crap out of him. And it annoyed him into kicking the crap out of him. Now he's kneeing the crap out of him. And looking to send him into the guardrail again. This time he reverses it. Now we're going to get a real flurry of activity from Naito. This has really become kind of his MO since last year. Really takes his sweet time. Tries to mess with his opponent. Fake him out. Then picks his spot, and then full tilt goes after him. Tying up the leg there. This Shibata showing signs of injury on shoulder and knee. That was pretty nasty. Tied up his knee on the guardrail and then drop kicked it. Shibata getting in last moment. Gonna go back to the outside for some recovery time himself. Sorry, there's just not a whole lot to talk about. They're really both kind of hanging out. Naito going after the shoulder. And the knee. I think what I would do in Naito's position, I'd get Shibata down. Keep going after the knee. I'd go for an STF, but an arm lock variation, I should say. The step over toe hold, and instead of going for the face lock, the F component, I'd go for an arm bar. Kind of a reverse, like that, only with the step over hold locked in. You really work over the shoulder, you work over the knee. Or you could go from this into something, but Shibata gets to the rope. Shibata is going to want to play that striking game. That's his strong point. Very, very tough, but almost all of his offense comes from the strikes. Shibata continues going after the knee, drop kick to the knee. Naito's best bet here would be to keep him off his feet. He's doing a good job of it, but he keeps giving him little openings here and there. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by that cute girl on the outside, the one in the red. The one in the white next to her is not bad looking either. Kicking him in the head, that's just going to piss him off. See, and this is how Naito gets himself in trouble. Is he going to go for the forearms? He's having himself a good old time. Just messing around at this point. But Shibata will make him pay for it, and does. Just spinning his face. That was not a good idea. Shibata really laid that one in. Drove it in. It really rocked Naito. He's not smiling now. He gets the kick in the corner. Going to do it again. Even harder that time. Looking to forearm him down, seated position, and hit that drop kick. It's really just laying those in. And hits the drop kick. Very high impact. Head arm suplex. Gets over, pin. Could not see the ref. Naito enjoying himself. He's getting his ass kicked. He does seem to kind of enjoy getting his ass kicked. Doesn't like losing, but he does like getting his ass kicked, apparently. Got a abdominal stretch there. Really has it locked in pretty solid. I can't tell. It almost looks like he's pulling on his hair. Gets out of it by clubbing onto the knee. Gets him down. I can't really tell how he's got it locked in. Okay, he's using his hands to apply the pressure. There is an axle, or not an axle, a pivot point. Using his ass essentially to provide the leverage, while his arm acts as the pivot point. Really it's not really about twisting the knee out of position, because obviously the knee is supposed to bend in that direction. He's pulling on it. Almost trying to dislocate the knee. And goes right back into it. I think he's applying an ankle lock. Yeah, he's twisting on the ankle. Both of them, actually. He's wrenching back with the one arm on one ankle. And twisting the other. Into the ropes. It's like Naito also has one knee wrapped up there. Hadn't caught that. I suppose he might have been wrenching on the one knee himself. Couldn't quite tell where he was applying the leverage. I thought it was to an ankle. He may have been twisting the leg to put some torque on Naito's knee. Naito runs in with a drop kick, nails him. Rolling, looks like he's going to go up top. Going to go for a drop kick. Hits it. Straight missile drop kick. Drop kick, trying to sweep him down. Shibata sees it coming, uppercuts him as he comes over. STO sweeps him down. Forearm. Probably not much leverage behind that. Just trading forearms there. Naito smiling. It makes you wonder what he's got up his sleeve. If he had sleeves. Wristband. What has he got in his wristband? Up his wristband. Just forearming the crap out of each other. Shibata gets the better of it. Gets the sleeper locked in. He's going to use this, try and take Naito down for that penalty kick. Half Nelson suplex there, just landed him on his head. 1, 2, only a 2 count. So far, very back and forth. I'd almost say that Shibata had taken the worst of the punishment in the match, but with that, I think he definitely has an opening. A low blow, maybe, and a roll up. 1, 2, Shibata kicks out. Couldn't tell if he kicked him in the thigh or went low. He went low. Enziguri. He's going for that finisher of his. Shibata nails him with a big knee. Goes for the penalty kick but gets caught. Naito. That new submission lock he's been using really puts a lot of pressure on the knee. Variation on the move he was using earlier. Shibata gonna look to. He looks like he's trying to stand up and get Naito on his shoulders, or possibly get where he can strike downwards. Gets free. Drop kick to the leg. Spinning front kick. That is just a solid headbutt right there. Shibata grabs him. Gets the sleeper locked back in. Again, he's going to look to try and take Naito to the mat so he can hit that penalty kick. Naito trying to break the hold. Trying to keep him from getting the complete leverage on it, from locking it in. He's got it in. Naito going out. Penalty kick. And into a grounded sleeper. A rear naked choke, technically. Not sure why he didn't go for a pin right there. He probably would have got it. He wants Naito to tap or to go out. That's it. Naito's out. And Shibata choked him out. Looks like that's what he was wanting to do. He's not releasing it. Looking to... So that makes 2 and 2 for both guys now, Naito and Shibata. Naito bleeding from the mouth, looks like. stalking Naito there a little bit. Alright, so go ahead and plug some of my own stuff right quick here at the end. I've got a game out called The Adventure of Fuckface McPussy. It's a comedy RPG, all kinds of jokes and humor and puns and satire and RPG parody and all kinds of fun stuff. You can find it under my name, Acidheads, ACIDHEDZ, at each itch.io or Game Jolt. Just look me up on there, you'll find it. Or if you're going to look for the name itself, it's F asterisk 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 face. The Adventure of Fuckface, but the UCK is in asterisk, and the USSY of McPussy is also in asterisk. And again, it's a funny RPG game. Also have music up. You can find me online, again, under the name Acidheads, ACIDHEDZ. I have music at sellfi.com/acidheads. I'm also on YouTube under that name. I have other stuff on YouTube you might be interested in, so come check that stuff out. My website is acidbathproductions.biz. acidbathproductions.biz. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.